Hello student, let us continue with the same theory, that is dispersion coefficient. So dispersion coefficient, it is denoted as sigma, and it is the ratio of magnetizing current and ideal short circuit current. We can determine the equation of sigma as Im into Xs upon Es, where Xs is synchronous reactance and Es is the supply EMF, and also the relation is lesser the dispersion coefficient, power factor would be high. Higher the dispersion coefficient, lesser would be the power factor. Also, we have seen the effect of dispersion coefficient on maximum power factor that your motor is capable of giving. So for that we have taken reference of a simplified circle diagram. Okay, and from the circle diagram we have determined the value of cosine of this angle phi minimum. Okay, and we have derived the equation that cos phi is 1 minus sigma upon 1 plus sigma. Okay, so this is the relation between the maximum power factor with a dispersion coefficient, and to cross check this relation we have taken two values of dispersion coefficient, 0.05 and 0.1, and after that we have calculated the value of maximum power factor, that for 0.05 it is 0.905, and 0.1 it is 0.8175. Okay, and after that we have seen the effect of a dispersion coefficient on overload capacity. So for that also we have taken the reference of a same simplified circle diagram. Okay, so the overload capacity is the ratio of maximum power to the full load output. Okay, we have seen the same thing from the circle diagram, and we have derived the relation between overload capacity and dispersion coefficient. Okay, same way if we take two different values of dispersion coefficient 0.05 and 0.1, we are getting the overload capacity of 2.35 and overload capacity of 1.74. Okay, so let us continue with the same theory. Okay, now the next part to understand the dispersion coefficient more, it is the effect of change of length of air gap. So what happens if air gap value changes in induction machine? Okay, so the first and very important thing that we already know is that the magnetizing current is directly proportional to the length of the air gap. So this thing is very easy to understand. Okay, so we already know that higher the length of the air gap, we know higher magnetizing current to produce the higher value of mmf. Okay, so that they are directly related. Okay, but the increasing length of the air gap will not make any change in the ideal short circuit current. Okay, so practically it will not be affected. Okay, increase in magnetizing current means increase in the value of dispersion coefficient according to the equation of dispersion coefficient. Both are in same proportion, so that the increase in length of air gap will reduce the maximum obtainable power factor, that cos phi m we are talking about. Okay, and it will reduce the output for a given current. As there is no change in the value of ideal short circuit current, the diameter of a circle diagram will remain same, so that the maximum output and maximum torque will remain unchanged. Okay, so it has not much effect on the overload capacity, but of course the change in the length of air gap has maximum effect on the power factor. Okay, so that was the easy thing to understand. Next point to be understood is effect of change of number of poles. Okay, so what happens when we change the number of poles of induction machine? Effect of change in number of poles. Okay, so change in number of pole does not change the magnetizing current, as the flux density inside the machine remains the same, but the flux per pole is inversely proportional to the number of poles. Okay, so this thing we have already seen in very first lecture, that there is a difference between the total flux phi total, okay, and flux per pole phi p. Okay, both are not same thing. Okay, total flux is, it means that the cumulative or summation of the flux produced by all the poles. Okay, but flux per pole is the value of a flux which is produced by each pole. Okay, so we can say that the flux per pole is proportional to 1 upon number of pole p. Okay, so this is the relation. Now another relation is that for the same value of EMF, okay, means constant EMF, we don't want to change the supply EMF, suppose it is the motor. So for the same value of the EMF, the number of turns are inversely proportional to the flux. Okay, so how the flux and number of turns are inversely proportional. Okay, for constant EMF. Okay, so one equation we already know, that EMF is proportional to F phi T, where T is number of turns. Okay, this thing is similar as the EMF equation of induction machine or transformer, that E is equal to 4.44 F phi into T, or in somewhere N is used to denote the number of turns. Okay, so from this equation we can say that for constant value of EMF, okay, the supply frequency is EMF, so this product should remain same. Okay, it means that if you increase the number of turns, it means the flux per pole, it should reduce. Okay, or if you increase the flux per pole, it means the number of turns are going to reduce. Anyhow, these product should remain constant, because the supply EMF E is constant. So from this relation we can say that the flux per pole is proportional to 1 upon number of turns. Okay, so we are having two different relationship for the flux with the number of poles and number of turns. Okay, so for the same EMF, as we know, the number of turns are inversely proportional to the flux, so that the turns will be directly proportional to number of poles. Okay, if we relate these two equations, we can say that the number of turns are directly proportional to number of pole P. Okay, from this relation we can say that. And the ideal short circuit current varies inversely with number of poles. Okay, so the ideal short circuit current, let us say it is SCI. Okay, it is also proportional to the number of poles. Okay, and so that the diameter of a circle diagram also varies inversely with number of poles. Okay, as we can say that the ISC, okay, over here, okay, it is nothing but it is proportional to the diameter of these. Okay, so if ISC is less, we can say that the output will also be less. Okay, because if diameter becomes lesser, we know that the circle will become smaller. If circle becomes smaller, okay, this value of the output that we are getting at any point is going to be lesser than this circle. Okay, if the diameter reduces. Okay, so this is the thing, and an increase in a number of pole will decrease the ideal short circuit current, as both are inversely proportional. Okay, and so the increase in the dispersion coefficient, okay, it will, or this relationship will increase the value of a dispersion coefficient, and increase in number of poles results in a decrease in a maximum power factor. Okay, so again we are relating the overload capacity and maximum power factor, okay, with this number of poles. Okay, now one more thing, it is the effect of change in a frequency. One more effect, it is the change in supply frequency. Okay, so if frequency is unchanged without altering the number of poles, it will not affect the dispersion coefficient. Okay, so there will be no change. Okay, if we frequency is changed, okay, without changing the number of poles. Okay, so that is the thing. But one thing regarding frequency, we already know that as the speed of the rotation of the flux varies, the frequency varies. The number of winding conductors must vary inversely with the frequency to produce the same EMF. Okay, so again I will repeat the thing. As the speed of rotation of the flux, which is frequency itself, okay, if it varies, the number of winding conductor must vary inversely. So over here we are talking about the frequency and number of turns. Okay, both should be inversely proportional. Okay, so again the same equation will tell you the thing. Okay, the same equation is proportional to F phi t. Okay, what we are saying that over here the frequency and number of turns. Okay, we don't want to change the flux, we don't want to change the supply EMF. So F and T we are talking about. Okay, so product of F and T should remain constant as far as the EMF is constant. Okay, so again from this equation we can say that F is proportional to 1 upon T, or T is proportional to 1 upon F, where T is the number of turns. Okay, so F and T should vary with this relation. F is proportional to 1 upon T. Okay, both will change inversely. Okay, this is for same EMF and same flux. Okay, provided one condition: EMF is same and the flux is same according to that equation. If frequency is reduced from 50 hertz to 40 hertz, and the same number of poles are used, okay, then the full load input is reduced to 4/5 of the original value. Okay, so your input power requirement is going to reduce by this ratio if we are changing the frequency from this to this value. Okay, so the reduction of a frequency may allow the use of a less number of poles without causing the excessive speed. Okay, in this case the dispersion coefficient is reduced and power factor will improve, or the maximum power factor which the motor is capable of, it will improve. Okay, so this is the thing.